Are you ready to challenge yourself and think bigger? I'm your host, Marianne Marchesi, and together we'll hear the unfiltered, unscripted stories of those who've taken big risks and transformed their bold ideas into reality. Season 2 is brought to you by multi-award-winning law firm Legalite, where bold ideas thrive. My guest today spent years in the law, including a stint as president of Victorian Women Lawyers, before she decided the fitness industry needed disrupting more than her legal career needed her. In early 2024, Vanessa Liano nee Shambrook co-founded Sculpt Republic, an online coaching business built on a radical premise that you can get strong and healthy without restriction, without fad diets, and without giving up the foods you love. Lawyer, nutritionist, climate advocate, ocean lover. Welcome, Ness.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. We've known each other for quite some time. You were, or still are, a lawyer, and I can very deeply resonate with the lawyer turned entrepreneur narrative.
You get it. And I will actually say I'm no longer an admitted lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How long were you a lawyer for?
Oh, I was admitted in 2016. That was my graduate year.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
it's a decade now, on, and you've gone totally into the fitness space. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, wow.
Tell me about that. Like, what prompted such a radical change to a completely different industry?
Yes. Honestly, I think a lot of people think I'm going to have this huge burnout story, and I really don't. I still love the law. I still have so much respect for lawyers like yourself and for advocates in general, and that's still a big part of what I do now. It really came down to my vision for Sculpt Republic just started to outweigh what I was currently doing at the time. So I had already left, at the time was a family lawyer. I'd already gone into climate advocacy. And then, I wasn't really a lawyer before launching for about a year before Sculpt. So I was more in policy and management. And then when I was working at, it's called the Port Phillip Eco Centre, which is an amazing centre. I started to really get into my strength training because at the time I was having chronic health issues. I was diagnosed with arthritis, which I've always been an active person throughout my life. I mean, I used to train at Flagstaff Gardens over my lunch breaks when I was a lawyer. Wow. It was awesome.
That's commitment.
And to have that, to have arthritis, and I was in so much pain. And
did that just come on kind of suddenly, or?
I think it was slow and then it was really fast. So as we understand as busy professionals and lawyers, on the desk all day, I call it the prawn position. You just on the keyboard, and I'd been through like multiple trial after multiple trial, and then it came on when I was starting in climate. And so I saw my doctor who said, you've got carpal tunnel and arthritis and you need hand surgery.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like 30 years old at the time. I went and saw a hand surgeon and they're like, it could work, or you could potentially lose some movement. Just like breaking out. I went home crying, like bawling my eyes out. At the time, I spoke to my partner who had been a PT at the time for 14 years. And he's like, you should see a physio. You need a strength train. You need to just build up your mobility, because I wasn't doing strength training. I was just doing HIIT workouts, probably under eating protein. And so I saw a physio. He said the same thing, started strength training. I started doing my now husband's strength training program because he was a coach. And I just started loving it. And I felt so strong, and I started eating enough. And I was like, other people can start benefiting from this.
Yeah.
And I'm Greek and I love cooking, and you would understand coming from your background too.
Yeah.
But I've been cooking since before I could walk. So I started doing all the recipes for Jan's back end stuff.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Just like
that's a great combo.
Yeah, because he was like chicken and rice, broccoli.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't I have a Greek gyro for lunch?
Yeah.
And hit my goals, my protein goals. And then his clients started asking me for advice. I'm like, I'm not a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
I just love Greek food.
So it was a slow build up. It wasn't one decision. It was just, it started to become my passion and my mission. And I realized my mission, my purpose has always been to uplift and help others, and especially women, for gender equality. And I'm like, I can do this with women's health equity.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I quit cold turkey. It was probably not a good decision. With $5,000 in my bank account, used it all on my first launch shoot.
Love that.
It was not a good decision.
You're like, I've got all this money, $5,000.
But it worked. But it was just like, at the time, it was very scary. But yeah, the vision and the purpose just outgrew that side of things. And Laura is still a very close chapter of my life, and I'm very grateful for that. But it just evolved from
and it
from
puts
there.
you in good stead, I think, law, the legal background to go into business because, from a, the startup point of view and risk mitigation,
Yeah.
we've got that different lens to starting a business. The legal brain with starting a business is really, I think, underestimated.
100%. It was like, it clicked for me. And I realized quite quickly, like, my strengths are operations. And it's a similar thing, client-lawyer relationship, coaching relationship. You have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure that you're appropriately qualified. And when you don't have the answer, you have to be honest and say, I don't know, or refer and work with other specialists.
Yeah.
Because we don't have, all the answers all the time.
No.
But
yeah,
it's
definitely.
very similar skills, which
Yeah.
I love. Like,
Yeah,
I love the
same.
business side of things.
Same.
You
It's
the same?
cool.
Yeah.
I love that also you sounds like it really was a journey to
Yeah.
Sculpt Republic. On the face of it, it often looks like you did quit cold turkey, but often it does look like it went from like cold turkey, this career straight into this new chapter. But it sounds like it was really quite organic in the way that unfolded for you. But why did you choose to co-found something rather than to join, an already existing fitness or wellness brand? What were you seeing that was kind of lacking that made you think, no, I want to actually carve my own path here?
Yeah. Yeah. It is a heavily saturated industry. For me, it was just, I had my own vision that I hadn't seen in any other coaching company. It was very much focused on before and afters. It was very much focused on aesthetics. And I wanted something that, yes, aesthetics is a part of it for some people. That's totally valid. But I wanted to apply my own experience being a busy professional who I've done so many diets and like quick fixes. I did a juice cleanse once. It made me feel horrible. And I wanted other busy professionals and parents and founders and CEOs to be like, you know what? I don't have to do anything extreme. I can make this my lifestyle with someone who gets it. And I hadn't seen that anywhere. So for me, it was like I had this vision because I'd lived it. And on co-founding with my husband, that was, the best decision because we couldn't have done it without each other.
Yeah.
You
both brought the different
Yeah.
strengths to the business. He's obviously the PT background. And then did you go on to get any nutrition qualification?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm a qualified nutritionist.
Oh, that's incredible.
I'm also a certified fitness group instructor,
Oh,
and I'm currently studying my Cert 4. So I will be a
wow.
qualified personal trainer as well, while I'm also studying my women's masters with Women's Fitness Academy
Oh,
and
cool.
an eating disorder accredited course that's run by a psychologist, because that was another thing. I was like, I'm a lawyer. Like, what qualifications do I have? Right, like founding a fitness and nutrition coaching company. And that's where Dan had that knowledge, my husband, because
Yes.
he'd been a personal trainer, run his own business, and been a manager of, various gyms for 14 years. And he is an excellent coach, but he doesn't have that knowledge that I do in business, in strategy, in vision. Like I think 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
And he's not like that. He's very
Mm.
pragmatic, calm. And I'm like, I want to do 50 things at once. I see us here. And he's
That's
just
typical entrepreneur.
Yeah.
We're like shiny objects, like
Yeah.
let's go.
yeah. And operations just bores him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love it. I
Oh,
thrive
that's so
off it.
great.
Yeah.
It's so great to have that balance. How is it working with your husband?
Not gonna lie, it was so challenging, especially at the start when we hadn't yet had our roles sort of designated. It was just like, and everything melded together at the start.
Yeah.
So, and I think you kind of have to do that when you're you understand when you're
Yeah.
first building your business is everything. You
100%.
have to make money quickly to survive
Yeah.
and to pay your bills, and the bills keep coming. And we've never had any external investing. We've never paid for advertising. So it was brutally slow at first, and that put a lot of stress on us.
Yeah.
It was in the shower. This client said this.
Yeah.
What do we do about this? We've got to action this. Bedroom, right before bed, working, at dinner, replying to messages because we're online. We had no boundaries. We were just like 24/7. 9 p.m. client asked a question about nutrition, I would reply.
Wow.
But now we've got that good medium. It's always challenging. It's always going to be challenging.
Yeah. And you're always on. But I think it's really important to have boundaries. It is hard, as you say, in the early years because when you're building, you're hustling.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it's constant. And it is really, really hard to mentally switch off.
Yeah.
And then I think, at least for me, once I kind of got into more of a groove, I was able to have better boundaries. And COVID did help a lot with that too, because most people had boundaries in COVID because we were just,
'Cause it was
working from home all the
everywhere.
time.
Yeah.
So I totally acknowledge and can resonate with those early years just being constantly on. How did you set those boundaries, or are you still, is it a work in progress?
I think it's still a work in progress always. We're always learning, but it's definitely better. So now we have internal policies that we even
I love
we
that.
tell our clients during their onboarding process. So reply times and, this is the hours that we work. Expect a reply within, maximum 24 hours from your coach. And within these hours, within business hours, like after 5
fair.
p.m., I'm
That's so
clocking
fair.
off. I
Yeah.
want to have dinner with my family.
Yeah.
And, and the way that I've portrayed that to clients, because I did feel guilty. I was worried, are people going to start canceling because we're not providing that 24-hour service? But the way that I said it to my clients was, when we have the energy to rest, we can give more to you during our calls.
Absolutely. And that's part of wellness.
Yeah.
That's part of your brand. It's you need to also have your own boundaries because you're setting and role modeling that. And you said you work with like founders, CEOs, busy professionals. We've all got big issues with switching off. So to have you kind of set that example, I think is really important. I really love that you said, it's very tailored and to busy professionals and there isn't much in the market there.
Yeah.
I've done so many different fitness things in my lifetime. At my peak, I did CrossFit and it was pre-kids. I had a lot of freedom and flexibility to do it. I would love to get back to it, but I just can't because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of fitness programs even now are very much kind of, even if they market to and target the busy professional, it's still not
intense.
it's still not it's still intense and it's not fitting in with a busy professional schedule. Like I might quickly run down to the gym and squeeze in what I can and I still don't complete the program because I have to go pick up the kids or whatever it is. So how have you been really conscious about making sure it is genuinely true to that mission?
Yeah. And what you just said is so true. And I've even experienced that myself when I'm really busy. Everything is custom. So while we do have the template, programs that you can jump on after you've finished your minimum coaching commitment, you can go onto something called membership. You pick with your coach, you just have that discussion. You say, what are your goals? And your coach will sit down and say, this isn't realistic or this is realistic based on what you want to achieve. We have someone come in and most people, they don't have like a really strict timeline, which is the beauty of it, because they're not coming to us to do a shred or a summer bikini body, which we don't use in any of our marketing, because I don't believe in a summer bikini body. I believe in a body that helps you with your life.
Yeah.
They just come on and it's normally goals like, I want to increase my strength. And it's like, okay, well, what time frame do you have? And we'll work within that with you. But if we have occasionally people who on our onboarding call, they say, you know, I want to achieve this in 5 weeks. I'm going to be honest. You're a busy CEO or you're fly out. You're not going to achieve that. You don't have the time.
Yeah.
So we're just very honest with
I think that's
people.
really important. You need to set the expectations, you know, with the client as well, because we've all done it, like New Year's or spring.
Yeah.
Like, great, I'm
We've
going to be
all
like
done
a
it.
new body by December. And it just doesn't happen. You're like, oh, next time.
No. And often like what we see on social media, it's people who have been strength training for like 5+ years.
Yes.
And we're comparing their end goal to something we want to achieve in such a short period of time. So
True.
it's just about customizing. That's the beauty of having something custom to you. You can say, I've got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it has to be at home.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, it's got to be at home. What are we going to do?
Like, what are we working with?
Yeah, what equipment do you have? Do you have any equipment? And it's not about shaming someone for that. That's the time that they have to dedicate. And I work with a lot of other founders and CEOs, and something that, you know, we all have in common is we're very harsh on ourselves. A lot of the conversation, a lot of the conversation is like, you did really well this week. You should be really proud of yourself for even moving your body. Yeah. But I think that we also have something that comes down to our coaching matrix that we've recently made with our coaches. Does this person need more accountability, more support, or compassion? Sometimes they need a mix of all.
Wow.
Because, you know, society and the environment that we live in has made it hard to be healthy.
Absolutely.
Without minimizing, you know, us taking accountability, society itself has made it very
makes
hard.
It really difficult. I mean, it's in everything, the shopping center aisles, advertising. Yeah. And even I think the before and afters that you spoke about and the aesthetic on Instagram can actually be really deflating. I remember a few years ago, I went through my Instagram and I just deleted all the, like, you know, peak
ultra shredded
because I was getting so depressed. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Also, those are not realistic. That's their career.
It's probably their full time. Exactly.
It's their career, and they've probably been building for years. And also, we don't know, they could also be using something.
Yeah. You just never know. That comparing the highlight reel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not good for the mental health. And I do want to talk about mental health a little bit, because your whole premise is sculpt your mind first.
Yeah.
And you take a trauma-informed approach to your coaching and training. So tell me a bit about that, like the trauma-informed side, and why is that premise of sculpt your mind first so important to you? Well,
I believe that, you know, anything that's sustainable has to come from behavior change first and mindset first. It comes down to our habits. That's all it really is. And I don't believe that we need more discipline. I believe that we just need to understand ourselves better. And that's what an excellent coach does. They help you understand what is your blocker without going into counseling. Because we know as lawyers and coaches, sometimes our role is to listen, you know, and hear and suggest other support as needed. We will always encourage someone that we flag who potentially has eating disorder risks to go elsewhere. We do not coach people who have that. They should not be doing any fat loss journey.
Get the support first and the help that they need, because that's foundational. You know, and coaching or PT that could exacerbate that. So that makes complete sense, and I think that's really responsible.
Yeah.
In addition to being your host, I'm also the founder of Legalite. If you're looking for a law firm that can work with your bold ideas, not against them, you can join the movement for better legals at www.legalite.com.au or follow us on Instagram at legalite_au.
And a part of that is teaching and educating our coaches to notice those red flags, number one, but also to always coach with compassion and with understanding, because no one's ever shamed their way into their goals or into, actually building a habit to, I want to start doing a walk every day.
Yeah.
No one's shamed themselves into doing that. So our coaches, we have a health first approach, which means in our policy, we'll always prioritize someone's health over their results.
Love that.
And the trauma-informed coaching comes from that. It also comes from our education as coaches. One of my coaches, she has a bachelor's degree in psychology, but I'm trauma-informed, trained and educated as part of my background in family violence and family law, but also currently undertaking that course. But always in our coaching, we're always asking ourselves, does this add value? And are we supporting and encouraging this person instead of, making them feel ashamed? So we always focus on external wins rather than aesthetics, and teaching people, okay, it's not about weight. Yeah. Weight is the least relevant thing to our health. BMI is absolute fucking bullshit. So
yes. I agree.
It is wrong. It was designed by a man in the war, like a mathematician.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Not, it's not.
It's always like some old bloke that's
like
created
this is how we should
the
measure
thing.
Everyone's bodies and women's bodies.
And it's not designed for women's bodies.
No.
Like nothing ever is. So,
but it also doesn't tell us anything about our body composition, our muscle mass, our bone density, how stressed are we? What are our nutrients? Do we have any deficiencies? So going and telling, GPs and advocating for our clients is part of that, to say it's about your body composition. So during our training, during our coaching, it's about teaching clients to focus on, am I getting stronger? Is my body composition improving? Am I building muscle and feeling good? Do I feel like strong as fuck? Because when you can lift heavy and you can do things that you couldn't do before, that is empowering.
Really empowering.
Yeah. Trauma-informed coaching. It's like, okay, remove the aesthetics. So every call we have is like, what can we focus on to make this person remove the aesthetics? Because even if you've got an aesthetic goal, once you focus on the habits, the results will come.
They follow. Yeah, it's like with everything. And I think the fitness industry really has taken that reverse approach, that it's like aesthetic first, and then what are we going to do strength, nutrition-wise to get the aesthetic result?
Yeah.
And I've experienced that with all the different fitness things that I've done. But what you were talking about with weighing yourself, I haven't weighed myself in about 4 years maybe.
Love it.
Yeah, I don't know how much I weigh. And occasionally I get asked, I'm like, I've got no fucking idea how much I weigh. Who cares?
Do you feel good? Do you feel strong?
Because what I found was weighing myself, especially as I'm almost 41, like as an almost 41-year-old woman, my weight fluctuates. I'm probably perimenopausal. I've had 2 kids. Like it's going to fluctuate so much. And I was finding it was having an impact on my mental, not so much my mental health, but like my mindset.
And it does for many women.
Yeah. So if you remove that blocker, and I think that's a really just very responsible business model that you've quite consciously adopted, and it is very unique to the fitness industry, and the health and wellness industry. So just absolute hats off to you.
Thank you for doing that. It was all built around like my own struggles too, because when I was probably in my 20s, I had to be a certain weight, and I was always fluctuating between either being really, really tiny. And then once I'd done that, then it was just like binge eating and overeating. And not in the clinical sense, just in the way that we probably all do, like what movies teach us. When you're sad, go just eat a whole thing of ice cream, then feel guilty about it. Whereas at Sculpt, it's like there is no good or bad foods. There's no morality assigned to a food.
Yeah.
It's just, are you getting enough of the good stuff?
Yeah.
If yes, then have some of the yummies.
Yeah.
A lot of the conversations I have is like, how can I eat this much food, Ness? This is so much food, because they've looked at food before as like, oh, I can't eat that much. I have to eat tiny. And it's like, no, we need to eat. We need to eat
And
enough.
I agree. I don't have a huge appetite. Like, I don't eat that much, but it doesn't impact on my weight. Like, even though I don't eat huge portions, it doesn't really impact. I think it's, as you say, it comes down to the quality and the nutrients
That's
that you're
right.
getting.
Yeah. We could eat like a couple of pieces of banana bread, and that could be like
Mm.
a whole day of eating.
Yeah.
Or we could have like a nice, breakfast, start the day with
Totally.
that's balanced, that's going to have slow release of energy, and so that we've got that sustained and not have that crash at 3 p.m.
Yes.
A nice lunch. It's not about overeating. And that also comes down to what we also teach clients is like how to listen to your hunger cues. Because a lot of the time we haven't been taught that. It's like, how do you know when you've had enough? So all of this is incorporated
You're
in
teaching, you're educating your clients as well on the things to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
100%.
I think it really is, it really is disrupting the way that we've been taught to think about health and wellness. It is an app, so it's obviously very highly scalable. Tell me about kind of why the decision to go that path versus, I know you do have some in-person coaching as well. But
No, we've got no.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, none.
Oh, okay.
We've always been
it
online.
must be the photos that I saw.
I
I'm like,
know.
ooh,
Yeah, it's the
this looks
photos,
cool.
No, nothing
Okay,
is in
wholly
person.
online. Okay. Well, tell me about that decision then.
Yeah, so honestly, it came down to wanting, like, for me, it was like, okay, I'm busy. I don't have time to go see a PT for 1 hour. And
No.
like, PTs are great and they have a place, but they're not there for the behavior change and the habit coaching.
Yeah.
And so, and I've spoken to so many coaches about this. You get, and I might get like torn apart with this, but you get better results with online coaching versus just having a 1 hour PT session. 1 hour PT is perfect for form, having that accountability, like you show up, it's done. But having someone in your pocket that you can message like all the time within business hours.
Yes.
And then you have that accountability phone call. Like that for me was the model that I wanted. I needed that support. So I was like, this is going to work for others. But making sure you have to have excellent communication skills as a coach to stay in touch with your client. But keeping that personalization when it is so scalable, that was very important to me. Everything that we do is still one-to-one.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own coach. So we've got 4 coaches
brilliant.
now.
Oh.
But everyone still has their own coach that they directly talk to. It's not just like, I know there's coaches online doing like written check-ins. And I'm like, that's not enough. A little message once a week. They actually have a video call or a phone call every week.
Oh.
And then you can message them on the daily through our app.
That's really personal.
Yeah.
One of my questions was going to be, how do you maintain that personal feel? But you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's online, but it's actually more personal.
It's more personal. You know more about that person because you're speaking to them so much. And I encourage my coaches to know more about their clients and remember, okay, I've got a client right now who they're like, listen, I'm sorry I haven't been checking in. My brother-in-law had, nearly lost his life to suicide last week.
Oh.
And it's like, these are the sorts of challenges that we're navigating with our clients. We've got clients going through divorce.
Yeah.
We've got clients who have cancer diagnosis and we're working with their doctors on how to make sure they're getting enough food while they're going through chemo. We've got people who have recovered and they're in remission from cancer. We've got people like me, and I think you do as well. You're quite open about having endo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
endometriosis, yes.
Yeah. Hormonal conditions. We've got all that. So it's like in order to coach appropriately, we need to understand everything about that client's life and what's going on, because these all impact.
It's all real life challenges. It's not, we're never living in this perfect harmony bubble.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's got real life challenges going on and
Real messy stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what sustainable habit change is, because it's like, well, if I wait for things to be perfect and I can only maintain this when I can go to the gym 4 times a week for an hour and everything's amazing, well, we're never going to live up to that.
No.
So for me, keeping it personal is a part of the service. Maybe one day we might have more of that public offering for membership. Right now it's only available to people who have done the program. A lot of that comes down to safety.
Yeah.
Because we require our clients to send us form videos. We need to check that they're doing everything correctly and they're not injuring themselves.
Yes.
But maybe one day in the future.
I think it makes sense. Yeah. And it makes sense for now. And as we were talking about before, like, you're always pivoting. You know, what works right now might not work in the future.
Might not work in the future, yeah. But for now, it's scalable because we've doubled our coaches. So before it was just me and Dan. We did have another lovely coach on for a year who was also a lawyer and a PT, but she's gone back to full-time law, sadly.
Oh, wow.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
But we brought on 2 new coaches. So
that's incredible.
Scalable, but with that.
That's great growth as
touch.
well for the first couple of years. Well done. That's awesome.
You. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, you just like, you always have that imposter syndrome.
Because you're Yeah, especially at the start, I think. Yeah, you kind of sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I would wake up and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
oh my God, I have that thought every day. So like, I know, I don't see this a lot online, but honestly, I even have it when I have an amazing week. We've just hit our highest revenue per week and we've made profit both years. And I don't know if that's normal or not, because honestly, I don't know a lot of other fitness founders in sort of my model. I either know like one-to-one coaches or other like amazing lawyers and founders like yourself. So for me, my model, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I crazy?
Is this normal? Is it?
Yeah.
Am I tracking okay?
I don't know.
But I think that that's a good thing in a way, because it kind of forces you to just focus on yourself and and not benchmark yourself against other businesses. I think we were touching on it earlier. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh yeah.
So I think, aside from getting over the imposter syndrome, I think it can be a good thing to just not have that, constant benchmarking or comparison to other similar businesses, because you're doing what's working for you.
Yeah.
And it is working and it's growing. So I feel like that's kind of the main thing to focus on.
It is, but I still have those
You'll
thoughts.
still have it.
3 a.m. in like the morning, I'll just wake up and be like, shit,
of course.
What am I doing? I often even think like, the start was really hard for me, the identity change. Being a lawyer.
It's a big shift.
Yeah. I think like lawyers, we have such strong identities.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do, we tie to who we are as an individual. And founding a business, I really had to I think I even went through like a depression. I do have depression and anxiety, but I went through an even deeper depression because I was grieving like my past self in a way. And that's probably been the hardest thing. And I still wake up and I'm like, what if this doesn't work and then I can't go back to law? Like, what am I doing? Is this great? Like, is this insane? I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I see myself as a person with a map, like the person who mapped out the world. They didn't know what was there.
Know what was ahead.
Walking around, mapping it out.
Yeah, mapping it out as you go. Yeah. I think I can relate to that. Like, so many lawyers are the type A personalities where we want to control everything. We're perfectionists. I think going into business changed that a lot for me. And then having kids changed that a lot for me.
Oh,
That I'm
yeah.
actually no longer a type A personality. So I think you just have to go through the journey, honor your feelings, embrace your identity. But law is still a part of your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though
That's
it's,
what I've told myself.
yeah, totally.
Because
Well,
it's
you
still
should keep
part of
telling yourself that.
advocating. Yeah.
Yes,
Like
you are still
everything we do.
advocating.
Yeah.
And you also you contribute a portion of your profits into fighting climate
Yeah.
action and gender inequality in the fitness industry and in general. Why was it important to you to do that from the start? Because a lot of businesses wait until
Mm.
they're bigger to start giving back, but you've
Yeah.
done it from day one. So I'd love to hear more about why that was important to you.
Our values were non-negotiable. So it was just, we're going to do this now. I'm not going to wait until I implement my own values into the business. And I've always believed like our business in general should be doing good things for the planet. We have that responsibility. You know, if we are not the ones leading change, then who is going to do that? So for me, it was vital that I started giving back immediately. And even now, I'm like, I want to do more. Like, I still want to do more.
That's brilliant.
But it's like, for me, it's like, well, if I'm contributing to a healthier individual, I should be contributing to a healthier society and a healthier world. And yeah, that was always a part of what I wanted to do with Sculpt and with business.
I think it's really great. And that point about not deferring your values to a later time, I think that's great. And if a lot of businesses can take a leaf out of that book, because I think there's like 98% of businesses in Australia are small businesses. So imagine the impact if everybody, all small businesses embedded giving back in some way to important causes. It would just improve.
That would be
society.
incredible.
Would be absolutely incredible.
In saying that, I know it's also very hard because of our tax and our obligations.
Of course, our tax and profit margins and cost of living and cost of doing business. Everything is a squeeze.
Oh my gosh, it's very hard.
But it's, it's so important. And if there are some months that are tight and it's not possible, that's so fine. It's the cumulative effect. I always say, success and giving back accumulates. So
100%.
Yeah.
Or even like in our messaging, like even that helps, even with our nutrition education, a big part of that is teaching people to buy produce in season. And what that does for our bodies, but also for the environment. So it's all like tied in. It's all very important.
Well, I've just learned something new. I didn't know anything about that. So like,
well, you got to think about it like that's being imported. It's not in season. The fuel that it's taken to travel here.
True.
And mind you, I do still occasionally, I shop online. I will say that I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But if we can do what we can, and the fruit and the veg taste better when you buy what's in season.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I definitely know that because of my kids. They eat so much fucking fruit. But I didn't think of it more
keeps
broadly.
going up in price.
I know, it's so expensive. But probably partially because some of the fruit is not in season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little tip for you.
I know. I love that. I've taken a huge piece of information away with me today. My final question for you, Ness, is what piece of advice do you have for someone who has a bold idea of their own?
Yeah, this is a good question. Don't wait until you're ready, because if you wait until when you're ready, you never will be. And if your purpose and your vision outweighs the fear that you have, it's all going to be worth it. And you can, like we said before, you're building that map. You're not going to have that planned map yet. You're going to be navigating and you're going to be learning, and it is going to be hard and it is going to be challenging, but don't wait until you're ready. And I still feel not ready.
Yeah.
Every day. And I still question
but it's
myself.
Progress.
Yeah. I'm like shit scared every day. I'm like questioning myself, like, who am I, a former lawyer, to be running, an online fitness and nutrition coaching company. And
But you're doing it.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
So, and I didn't wait until I was ready, and I was still studying nutrition. So I just launched. And
That's brilliant.
it went ahead.
And I think it helps with the hindsight. You don't want to get to a point where you're like, if I had just started 2 years ago, where would the business be now? It takes away that, that not knowing of where things could have panned out. You just got to
gotta go for it.
You just got to go for it.
Go for it. Obviously with a plan of some sort.
Sure.
I will say that.
And AI can help with that now.
I know. I think I joked to my husband one day. I was on like Claude and I wrote to Claude like, Claude, you're my best friend. Thank you for being my COO. And I said it to my husband. He's like, oh my God.
I know we've gone next
Claude's
level.
my best friend.
I love it. Claude's amazing. It's actually amazing. So
if you can't afford a COO, I'm like, I've got.
Yeah, I don't judge you for that
Thank
at
you,
all.
Claude.
Well, I'm chatting to Claude every day.
Yeah. I saw your Instagram story about what should I feed my kids.
Yeah.
That was great.
We're using Claude. It was actually bang on. And funny, you were talking before about your Greek influence with food. So my follow-up question to Claude on that. So for the listener, the context was my kids eat like shit. And I asked Claude to give me ideas for healthy meal options. But yeah, my follow-up question to it was give me a Middle Eastern meal option as well, because I'm Middle Eastern.
Yes.
And I want to slowly incorporate that into their diet too, so it's
that.
normalized for them. And it gave me a really great idea. It was like a wrap of some sort. But
that is so important. Like you've got to enjoy your food. You've got to have that. For me, food, like it's not just fuel. When people say like food is fuel, it's like it's not just fuel.
No.
It's enjoyment, it's culture, it's family, it's memory.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say that about food. For me, it's like my passion. And I love making Greek food for my clients and then putting it in our recipe books and being like, you know what, you can have garik to buriko, which is like this Greek custardy dessert. I'm like, you can have that.
Yeah.
And not everything has to have protein in it.
Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
If food was just fuel, we'd be eating out of packets. It wouldn't be like we wouldn't have a cuisine.
Like we're on a spaceship eating out of like packets, like a blue juice.
Exactly.
This has exact right amount of protein per day. Getting my iron and B12 all in one go.
That's it.
Blue juice.
Yeah. And then move on. Yeah. Good.
That'd be pretty boring.
It would be so boring.
Not for me.
Well, I love that. You're incorporating that enjoyment into your program, and absolutely fantastic advice, I think, for anyone to just start and don't wait till you're ready. Feel the fear and just do it anyway. It's been like an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I've loved it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me. If you loved what you heard, make sure you follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. Or even better, leave us a review. And if you have a bold idea of your own, I'd love to hear from you. Check out the show notes to get in touch.